Hi guys, welcome back to the Gabriel Farmstead. Gabi, you need to stand, otherwise the people won't see you. Gabi, stand up. Yes, thank you. So it's a beautiful afternoon. The sun is about to set, and it's not warm. I mean, it's not hot. It's not cold. The weather is beautifully warm, and today we are planting out our spring garden. So we are going to be planting our potatoes, squash, and tomatoes. Those are really the only crops we are going to plant now, because our summer gets really, really hot, and it ends up scorching and stressing the plants such that they don't really produce. So it's a waste of time and water, even for me who just do gardening as a hobby or as a way to distress from work. So so yeah, we are going to go ahead. If you see behind here, this is the bed. Oh, my arm, damn. That's the bed that had a lot of flowers at the greenhouse, the makeshift greenhouse. And there was a lot of flowers, some of which we plucked out. Maybe you can see we left some intact. There were also a lot of tomatoes. So I'm just going to turn around the camera and go through with you guys. So like I said, we had flowers in there. So these are zinnias that self-seeded because we used the soil where they were. And this is a marigold. This here is a roselle hibiscus, which also reseeded. Some of those are tomatoes that I planted in there. The whole bed is generally a repetition of what I just said. There you go, another roselle hibiscus plant, more tomatoes, more zinnia, flowers. That is a squash that I'm hoping to transplant. That is a squash plant that I'm hoping to transplant. Yeah, and then it's just a repetition. So these tomato seedlings, and there's a squash there. The squash we are going to transplant again. The tomato seedling you can see is yellowing. I'm thinking, I don't know whether it's a lack of nitrogen or maybe it's too much nitrogen. I have to search it up, but I think it's nitrogen related. We are having volunteer onions there. We are going to leave those in. Those are our seed potatoes. And Papi, would you tell us where your seed potatoes came from?
I got my potatoes from a friend, Marlu.
Did he tell you the variety of the potatoes?
Yeah, this is called the Tyson type. And
Tyson.
and
Okay.
apparently you could plant them in the winter as well.
Oh, okay, great. So yeah, apparently those are Tyson. There is one like the longest. Can you please take it out? Yes, that is a seed potato from our potatoes that we harvested the last time. We actually finished them. Yes, don't say it was too fast. It's fine. We love potatoes. So we are going to plant them here just to finish off the bed, because the mini shift greenhouse was only one side of the bed, but we also made holes within the bed itself where we are also going to put potatoes. So this is going to be one of those Alice Momwe beds like the one we had from the farmstead earlier. And then we come here. So in this bed, we are going to put tomatoes. Some of these tomatoes I might be giving away to my brother because I think we got a lot of tomatoes. I made holes for our squashes where we are going to put them. We are trying to, Gabriela, don't do that, please. We are trying to put our squash against the trellis again. You can also see, no, 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 no. Their leaves are also yellowing. Oh, guys, you know how stressful it is to shoot a video with kids. We are trying to put our squashes against the trellis. There is the other one there. And then this whole bed is also going to be dedicated to tomatoes. It's getting late, so we don't know how much of it we are going to finish on camera. In here, I have eggs that are actually just blended because they said they're a good source of calcium, and I'm going to put those at the bottom of the holes when we are planting our tomatoes. And we also have rabbit manure that we are going to put at the bottom of the holes when we are planting um, our squashes. Yeah, so let's begin. We are beginning here on the tomatoes bed. So, like I said, we started in the tomatoes bed, and I decided to plant out the smaller tomatoes close to the ark so that by the time they take over, the squash have kind of started trellising already. So, as you can see, the plants that closer to the edge of the bed are much bigger than the ones that are closer to the ark. And guys, I really loved the root system. I was observing on those tomatoes; they were really making me happy. As you know, if you watch my videos, this year we didn't get a tomato harvest because my tomatoes kept dying off during the rainy season. And by the time we started them up, it was already nearing winter. And just as the first tomatoes were coming in, yeah, they actually died off due to the light frost we usually get at the beginning of winter. Am I the only one who sometimes feel boys can't really perceive danger? Just look at that. So Mr. decided to jump over the bricks. He ended up hurting his arm. And I'm just like, oh, but that's, I guess, what you get for being a boy, mom. God, I'm just glad he was fine. When we were done planting the tomatoes in that specific bed, we then decided to plant the squash that is going to be in the same bed but trellising against the ark. You know, guys, this is my first year growing on my ark, the second season. I tried it during rainy season. I planted a bit late. And then just they didn't amount to anything. So I'm hoping this time I am going to get some beautiful pumpkin of the trellis. Can you guys see the beautiful root system we have on the squash? The thing with squash is it doesn't really want to have its roots disturbed. Oh, and the hole is not deep enough. Let me just pick out some more. So they don't really want their roots to be disturbed. But we had no choice but to plant them and to transplant this time because it was really just so cold to plant squash outside that time. And I'm just hoping that right now, hey, I'm just hoping that right now, eh, I'm hoping that right now some of this yellowing, I don't know whether you guys can see this yellowing, and I'm thinking it's lack of nitrogen. So I'm hoping that right now that it's in the soil, it's going to do very well. This is one of my favorite squash. It's a mini pumpkin, those small yellow ones. I will try to see whether I can get a name. I actually just bought a fruit from one of our shops around, and I decided to take out the seeds. These ones are really not doing well. I don't know whether this is rotting, I'm seeing on the stem, and I don't know why they are rotting. I don't know whether it's the termites, whether I don't know what I did, but I'm hoping that they will survive. There were three. I took one off because I just feel like it was not doing that well. The leaves are so yellow. I don't know whether the roots are doing well. There was up, you see, there's no root system at all on this side. There was a lot of termites in the bed where they were, but I'm not doubting that the soil is good. The soil is actually very good. Oh, okay, you see, there we are seeing the root system. Almost nothing is happening as far as the root system is concerned. We are going to, I've added rabbit manure there. We are going to put them here and just hope that now that they are in the soil and there is manure, they are going to do better. I'm really hoping that they do better because I don't want them to die. But I don't know. If they don't do well, I might come and plant one from seed and hope that it will catch up with the others. I'm hoping I don't have to do that though. I'm really hoping and praying I don't have to do that. Also, this side of the trellis, I don't like the soil that is here. The soil that is here is so bad. Oh, I broke off one of those. The soil that is here is so bad and rocky. You can see this hole was made a while back. We added water, and the reason why I added water was to see whether this water is going to seep into the soil, but I'm feeling a lot of rocks, and this is one of the reasons why I'm thinking this squash probably won't do as well. There was another pumpkin squash that was here. It was doing okay, not well, just okay. But I'm hoping that this one is going to do well. Okay, the root system. You see, guys, and these things were transplanted together or at the same time. But can you see the difference between this and the other two squashes? So you can see this one, the root system have also started, and it's good. But the other two, I don't know. The other side of the trellis, those ones I have a lot of hope in them because they are in a soil that is full of compost. I don't think they are going to give me a problem really. A lot of this beetroot we are going to harvest very soon because I want to add some more squash in this bed. This bed is at a place that receives enough shade. Actually, the trellis receives enough shade in the afternoon, and that's why I'm planting on it because I'm hoping that it will do well. Let me. Oh, there is also a lot of rocks here. I can even feel the way I'm taking the soil out. Oh, can you see this big one? But yeah, there was also squash here last year. Not yet last year, last growing season. It was doing okay. So I'm hoping that this one will do okay too. Rabbit manure is best, the best type of manure you get. Guys, do you see? Just look at the difference in the root system between this. Okay, I think I need to take out sand. This root system and the root system on the other squash. The other one, I really don't have hope, but I'm praying. Anyways, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Let's just plant them. Let us just plant. So I'm going to put tomatoes in here, but the tomatoes that I'm putting in here, not this. I'm going to get some from there. Let's go. So these 4 tomatoes are so good. So we are going to take all of them, and you see, these are the ones we are going to transplant. Yeah, you are what? I feel like I'm disturbing so much of this poor tomatoes root system. I don't know whether they are not going to go into transplant shock and not do as well, but they are definitely gonna bounce back.
How to plant a potato. Very simple. What you just do, you see this little sprout on? You have to dig into the ground. Ew, so much foliage. As I was saying, you have to dig into the ground and put your potato in with the sprouts pointing upwards.
What happened if you put it facing down like that? Yep. What happens
If
when you
it
plant
faces
like that?
down, nothing would happen. Like, in other words, what I was thinking when I was younger, if you put it upside down, it's like the leaves would grow at the bottom and the roots would grow at the top. But it just doesn't sprout, so make sure that the sprouts are on the top. You want fresh potatoes for dinner always. So put it in there and cover it up.
So I searched up some information on the Tyson potato variety. They said it's a light yellow skin color and flesh, which does not discolor after cooking. It's high yielding with round oval tubers. It's resistant to nematodes, and it has a bright and smooth skin finish. Marlu and his family are commercial farmers, so no wonder they are able to tell me the variety of potatoes they're growing and get very good quality seeds. Thank you, Marlu. This one, I don't know, you're gonna be the last one. It's so wrinkly and ugly, and it doesn't really have an eye. I think it has a very small sprout. I saw it in the afternoon. The sun is going down. I actually have gone down. I can't see it anymore, but anyways. Okay. Good morning. It's bright and early today. I woke up just at sunrise. Let me see whether you can see it by the trellis. So yeah, I woke up just at sunrise because I actually wanted to give you a good tour of what we did yesterday because I feel like we finished quite late and we didn't quite get to show you what we did. So first of all, this is our tomatoes bed. So we um, planted them in a zigzag position so that they would give each other good room to grow. So in this specific bed, and this is a three meters, I think. So in this specific one, morning, how are you? Fine, thank you. So in this specific bed, we are having 7 tomatoes. As usual, I cannot tell you the varieties of my tomatoes because they are mixed. Honestly, you guys, this is the first time that I tried to plant and label my plants. But then when I planted the seeds, there was that period that we ended up going to the north. I think it was a long weekend or for a funeral. And during that time, it was a little bit hot and nobody watered um, the this the containers, yeah, and so those seeds didn't germinate. Why am I bringing you to this bed? It's because I want to show you right here on the corner there's a marigold we transplanted yesterday. It seems to be doing very, very well. And then there's another one there. This specific one was so shriveled up yesterday. But today it came back beautifully. We watered it, and overnight it came back really well. There is a, so I don't know whether that's a cucumber, that small one. I don't know whether this is a cucumber or whether it is one of those mini squashes. I don't know. And these smaller ones are onions that were covered by the Chinese master cabbage. I don't know whether anything will come out of those, especially now that we have added a squash to the trellis. So there is one squash there, and then here is another squash, and then this one. These are three, and I am going to thin them out, but I wanted to give them a chance to kind of get established before I thin them out. I'm afraid that if I thin them out now and something goes wrong, I'm going to lose all of them. So maybe if there are three, one of them will go and then I'll get two also. Um, and if you can see to the to the side of the trellis, um, I added the smaller tomatoes compared to those ones at the beginning of the bed. And that's because I wanted to give the squashes an opportunity to grow before these tomatoes becomes big and overwhelming. So yeah, so we are hoping that that will go well. Moving on, this side of the trellis, we also have squash. Do you remember the other three squashes that I said I'm going to thin out, well, these are the counterparts. They were planted exactly the same day, but look at how these are doing. These are not doing well at all. They are yellowing. They don't have a good root system like I showed you yesterday. Anyways, I planted a seed here just in case these two don't do quite well. I'm sure that one will probably come up and do well for me. Another one that is having yellowing also on the leaves, and I'm hoping now that it's in the soil it's going to do better. And another one here that I planted probably way too close to the trellis, but I think that will be fine. Here we are. This is our second bed of tomatoes. We planted carrots and then beans in this bed. So we have turned it over, and this time we are putting tomatoes. And I love this bed because it also receives good amount of shade this time of the year when it's going to be so hot very soon. So I'm hoping these are also going to do well. We have left two holes, which I think I'm going to be putting squash so that I can let them sprawl around this area, especially that I know the carrots in this bed will be done soon, although I know also the onions are probably going to take quite a while. In this bed, I also added two marigolds. I don't know whether it was a good idea to put them close together. Probably not, but I think they are going to do well. We also have a cucumber somewhere here that are planted on a whim, but I'm not going to remove it. So let's see what it's going to do. The last thing we did yesterday is this. So this is a makeshift. I don't know whether to say it's a greenhouse anymore because we added a shade net, and we added a shade net because it's getting quite hot in the afternoon for the plants. So I wanted them to have that comfort of the shade and the heat. And this one is open from this side to the other side, so it's open. Yeah, it's quite warm in here. It's not as cold. We planted potatoes on this side where you see nothing. Those are the tomatoes I'm going to give to my brother. And all the plants the other side where it had already we already had this makeshift greenhouse. So this bed, like I said, is going to be the Alice Mongwe bed. There is tomatoes in here. There are some peppers, I think, some tomatoes, some roselle hibiscus, zinnias, marigolds, some other type of flowers that I always forget the name. So yeah, I'm very excited for this bed because I think it's going to be a star of the show at some point. And I'm hoping that the plants in here are not going to get too stressed because this specific bed does not receive the sun. I mean the shade. So it is always in the sun, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be too bad such that the plants are going to get stressed too soon. So here is the same bed from the other side. So that's the same bed, same greenhouse. I feel like this garden looks so beautiful when you look at it. Honestly, guys, this year I was not really planning um, to plant in these beds that stay receive sun the whole day during summer. But Toppy ended up receiving seeds from his friend, potato seeds, and I don't think we had any other beautiful place to put them or suitable place, so we ended up using this bed. And as for this one that is having carrots and onions, it's supposed to be nearly um, nearing the harvest, so we will be nearly harvesting right now. But because we planted late, the onions are still in their infancy, apart from this specific one. But they are coming along really well. So yeah. Bye bye.